Welcome to Parliament TV. I am Tepo Mori. This week in Parliament, a pre-budget media engagement from the chairpersons of the Finance Cluster Committees. And on the international front, an Inter-Parliamentary Union Global Conference on Women Parliamentarians. In the National Council of Provinces, a question and answer session for the Social Services Ministers and a ministerial briefing session on school infrastructure and equipment. And in the National Assembly, the President of the Republic's appearance before the House to answer questions for our reply and the much-anticipated delivery of the budget speech by the Minister of Finance, Mr. Enoch Godongwana, are some of the key engagements for this week. The chairpersons of the Finance Cluster Committees will host a pre-budget media engagement on Monday from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. at the Capital on 15 Orange Hotel in Cape Town. The Finance Cluster chairpersons will brief members of the media and various other stakeholders about Parliament's rigorous oversight and accountability role in ensuring that the national budget serves the needs of all the people of South Africa. The committees are the Standing Committee on Appropriations, chaired by Mr. Musi Maimane, the Select Committee on Appropriations, chaired by Ms. Didimalo Lekhwase, the Standing Committee on Public Accounts, chaired by Mr. Songezo Zibi, the Standing Committee on Finance, chaired by Dr. Joe Maswanganyi, and the Select Committee on Finance, chaired by Ms. Sunny Ndlovu. Mr. Maimane will engage the media on whether the budget allocations reflect national priorities and how the committee will monitor departmental spending to prevent underspending on critical areas such as health, education and infrastructure, which can hinder service delivery. Ms. Lekhwase will outline the Select Committee on Appropriations work in monitoring provincial and municipal expenditure trends as the committee focuses on the equitable and effective allocation of funds to provinces and local governments amongst the many other functions. Dr. Maswanganyi will focus on the financial sector, as it is one of the most important pillars of our economy, playing a leading role in facilitating growth, investment and stability, yet it is one of the untransformed sectors of the country's economy. Dr. Maswanganyi will also speak on growth and development. Ms. Ndlovu will talk to a unique mandate of the NCOP in ensuring that provincial interests are taken into account in the national sphere of government. The Select Committee's interest is on the allocation of budgets to provinces and municipalities because these two spheres of government are the coalface of service delivery. The Standing Committee on Public Accounts holds the executive accountable for financial management and expenditure. In this regard, Mr. Zibi will mainly expand on the importance of strengthening consequence management within government to curb financial mismanagement and corruption. Also, the committee's vital role in monitoring the implementation of corrective measures is to ensure that the recommendations from the Auditor General are acted upon to avoid a cycle of financial mismanagement. President Cyril Ramaphosa is scheduled to appear before the National Assembly plenary on Tuesday at 2 p.m. to answer questions for our reply from members of Parliament. The National Council of Provinces will hold a ministerial briefing session on school infrastructure and equipment at its hybrid plenary on Tuesday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. The session will be held under the theme Providing Proper Infrastructure and Facilities to Ensure Quality Education for a Safe and Healthy Learning Experience for Quality Education Outcomes. On Wednesday, the Minister of Finance, Mr. Enoch Godongwana, is scheduled to deliver the 2025 budget speech at 2 p.m. in the National Assembly Temporary Chamber, the Newminster Dome in Parliament. Minister Godongwana will also introduce the Appropriation Bill and table the 2025 Division of Revenue Bill, which Parliament will process in the following months. During the budget speech, the Minister will indicate the allocation of financial resources to national government's priorities, which President Cyril Ramaphosa outlined in the State of the Nation address in February. Minister Godongwana will outline all financial, economic and social commitments the government will prioritize in its planned expenditure. He will provide a detailed plan for the 2025 spending, including proposals for revenue collection to help fund the government's planned interventions and commitments. On Thursday at 2 p.m, the Social Services Cluster 2B ministers will appear before the National Assembly to give oral replies to questions by members. This cluster comprises ministers in the National Department of Health, Human Settlements, Social Development, Sport, Arts and Culture, and Water and Sanitation. Cluster 2A of Social Services Ministers will appear in a hybrid questions and answer session before the National Council of Provinces. It comprises ministers from the National Department of Basic Education and Higher Education and Training. Questions for oral reply sessions are among the mechanisms Parliament uses to hold the executive accountable. This is in accordance with Section 92 of the Constitution, which provides that the President, the Deputy President, and all executive members of Cabinet are accountable to Parliament for performing their functions and exercising their powers. They are required to provide Parliament with regular and full reports on matters of national public importance under their jurisdiction. The NCOP's question and answer session will be preceded by the Council's Programming Committee meeting at 8:30 a.m. to consider its parliamentary program, committee reports and legislation before the NCOP. On the international front, delegates from the South African Parliament will participate in the Inter-Parliamentary Union Global Conference on Women Parliamentarians held from Thursday, the 13th of March to Sunday, the 16th of March in Mexico City, Mexico. The conference, organized by the Inter-Parliamentary Union, provides an exciting new platform for women members of Parliament to come together, exchange experiences, learn from each other, and define common and innovative strategies to advance gender equality and women's rights and empowerment. On Friday, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m, the National Assembly will hold 2 virtual mini-plenary sessions on topics sponsored by the African National Congress, the Democratic Alliance, and the Umkhonto weSizwe Party. Parliament continues to fulfill its constitutional responsibilities. Much of Parliament's lawmaking and oversight work, which includes public participation and involvement, is carried out through its committees. There are 33 committee meetings scheduled for this week. For the full list of scheduled committee meetings, please visit www.parliament.gov.za/committee-schedules. To stay informed about Parliament's program, please visit our website at www.parliament.gov.za and watch Parliament proceedings on all Parliament social media platforms at Parliament of RSA. Thank you for watching Parliament TV. I am Tepa Mori. Take care.